Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Frame Live. My name is Dottie San Martin, and I'm your host this afternoon. And our guest of honor is no other than John Harbuck. John is the president of Strike 10 Entertainment in Arlington, Texas. Welcome, John.
Dottie, great to see you. Thank you for having me. Lots of exciting things to talk about.
Oh gosh, as we were preparing for this show, I told you our biggest challenge is going to be to stay within our time frame. But it's always a pleasure to chat with you. And 2020 and 2021 really was a challenging time for so many centers throughout the world. But the one thing that I found quite exciting was that it really did shine a light on marketing and promoting your center. And that's, pardon my pun, but that's just right up your alley.
Yeah, yeah.
But bowling is definitely coming back, and it's a lot stronger now. But let's talk a little bit about Strike 10 Entertainment and what you guys do. We have a number of viewers from all over the world. Can you tell us just a little bit about the mission of Strike 10 Entertainment and what you guys do and do quite well, I might add?
Yeah, Dottie, thank you for bringing that up. We have three primary things that we get up and think about every day. And one of the things we do is we want to develop sponsor partners that share our mission, share our vision for this sport. And that's companies like Boston Beer and Pepsi and those types of companies that are great multi-year partners. The second thing we look at is really building top of mind awareness. I think we all know that people are reminded to go bowling. They tend to spark an idea and say, "Hey, let's all get together and go bowling." You always have a great time. So top of mind awareness is important. And then lastly, we're about driving traffic to our member centers, BPA members, Strike 10 members. Strike 10 is made up of about 2,000 centers that have agreed to be a part of our network. They agreed to run our promotions and programs. They agreed to honor our free game coupons that we kind of weave into our programs to drive traffic into our member centers. And what a lot of people don't realize is that there's no cost to be a member of Strike 10. So we have this deep menu of programs and opportunities that Strike 10 brings out, and you're included as a member of Strike 10. You're included on our national center search engine that is found on gobowling.com, our website. So the consumer facing for Strike 10 is bowling, and the website is gobowling.com. So everything you see that we're a part of is going to go out to consumers under the Go Bowling brand, and we'll promote the gobowling.com website. So, to kind of, just split down to three core we do, those three things we do, and ultimately driving traffic to our member centers and to our website is the third third objective that we try to work.
Sure. And just that top of mind, keeping bowling top of mind, y'all partner with so many. For example, just recently y'all did the Go Bowling 250 in Richmond, and to get the exposure of bowling to that type customer is just, it's phenomenal. Tell us a little bit about, a race day. I am a NASCAR fan. As I shared with you earlier, my husband proposed in a winter circle at Daytona, so I'm all in when it comes to NASCAR. But tell us a little bit about just the conversations that you hear and the exposure that bowling is given to that customer, to that crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first you step back and demographically we look at the profile of the bowler, the bowling consumer, and we look at the profile of a NASCAR fan. Mm-hmm. And I think they're the same people. I mean, NASCAR fans and bowlers are, the community is very important to them. Americana is very important to them. Family centric. Both sets of consumers are very very family centric, and so we look at those core key profile of that consumer base, and NASCAR was a good fit for us. Now, it's not the end all and be all of everything, but it's an area that we feel is important. And when you're able to get on that platform, and the events that we're on are highly visible, nationally televised events where we're able to not only reach the broader consumer audience through a nationally televised race that goes 3 hours on and bring a highly visible it's number one viewed sporting event of the weekend when we're on, and you see Go Bowling repeatedly throughout the telecast. It gives us an opportunity to bring a broad and diverse a TV viewing audience. And
Sure.
then we're able on the ground there to actually have bowling lanes and put the ball in the hands of consumers that are at the track. And then we do just a whole series of really fun, engaging consumer activations at the venue that actually gets consumers to be able to actually bowl. And we're able to touch a lot of consumers on the national TV audience, as well as those that attend the event. So that's what we set out to do, when we are contemplating these events with NASCAR. And up until recently, before COVID, with the Go Bowling 250 in Richmond, who you spoke about, we were able to pair our Women's Tour Championship event there on site at the venue on Wednesday that race week, and have a live TV audience watch our amazing ladies bowl, the best bowlers on the planet, competing there at that venue, and exposing that to another audience. And then had a NASCAR event that weekend. That was part of why we really loved that opportunity with the Richmond race. And of course, with COVID, we had to postpone that. We certainly are looking forward to the future to be able to get that back in the mix. Those are just a couple of the key reasons why NASCAR is really we feel a great fit strategically for us as we built up on awareness for the sport.
Absolutely, and such great exposure for bowling. Well, I have to, prior to us going live, you shared with me, I'd asked you about the contest that y'all had recently, and I was very impressed to find out that Tony Stewart had bowling lanes in his home. So, hopefully he's a pretty decent bowler and he frequents bowling centers often, but I thought that was pretty cool that the winner was selected to get some fun time there on those lanes. So
yeah, Tony's been a great partner. Of course, Tony Stewart is one of the partners in Stewart Haas Racing, which we're a part of that team. Our number 10 driver, Eric Amarola, drives for that organization, and our Xfinity driver is a young driver named Riley Herbst. And Riley is a good young driver, drives the number 98 Ford Mustang on the Xfinity circuit, which is a notch down from the NASCAR Cup Series circuit. You know all this, but maybe some of our viewers don't know this. So we have a partnership with Stewart Haas. Tony's a very busy man and has a lot of things going on, but he loves bowling. He loves our partnership. So we were able to, but frankly, we didn't have to twist his arm. He volunteered and said, "Hey, I got these bowling lanes in my home here, and why don't we have one of your Go Bowling fans? Let's do a contest, or whatever, how you want to do it." So we launched contest beginning of the summer, and all of our activations and all the things that we promoted through our social media channels and our tent pole activation throughout the summer, we allowed our fans to join and enter to win the opportunity to bowl with Tom Stewart at his home.
wow.
So we just recently selected a winner who is a bowler out in California, and he won the opportunity and is just over the moon that he's going to be able to get to come and bowl with Tony Stewart. So
Oh, what an
that's kind of fun, and we're going to be rolling that announcement out on our social channels this week, as a matter of fact. So that's fresh off the presses.
how
So it was on
fun.
promotion.
How fun. Well, that's just one of the ways that Strike 10 Entertainment has really promoted bowling. I know you yourself have been on national shows to expose bowling in that way. And I know one of the conversation starters is the Go Bowling car. That's something that, it's so unique. You definitely know what it's all about by one glimpse. Um, how are y'all using that? I'm sure it travels like around to the different trade shows and things like that. Are there any plans for that going forward or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We our kind of inaugural tour was 2019, and we were able to get that out and made available to proprietors, and want it to be at highly trafficked events, whether that's a festival in your town, or it's a state fair, or a big sporting event. We've had it at White Sox games in Chicago. We had it, at county fairs and other parts of the country. So if a proprietor wants to book that, he can go to stemarketing.com. That's our website, Strike 10 Entertainment, stemarketing.com. Now, I will tell you that we suspended the tour in 2021 coming out of COVID because gatherings weren't happening. But
Yeah.
as we, see the light at the end of the tunnel and people are getting back together again, and of course, if you look at NFL stadiums and college stadiums, and people are back and they want to get out, they want to
Yes.
reconnect and re-engage. So we will be kicking the tour off again in 22.
Oh,
And we've
nice.
had a series of industry events. It was at Bowl Expo. We've had it at the NASCAR races and industry things that we've done it, but it is a showstopper and a conversation starter for sure, as that Go Bowling pin shaped car pulls up. As a matter of fact, at our NASCAR race in Watkins Glen, Michael Jordan, who owns a team, as you may know, on the NASCAR circuit, was attending that race, and our Go Bowling pin car was parked there on pit row, and Michael Jordan walked by and did a quadruple take as he walked around our car, just admiring our car. And we jokingly said, "Hey, you want to take it for a spin?" And he said, "No, thanks. I got to be somewhere." But Michael Jordan gave it the thumbs up.
Oh,
At a NASCAR
wow.
race.
That's
So,
a big endorsement.
yeah,
That's awesome.
it's a cool car, and we're glad to have it be our ambassador when it shows up.
Absolutely. Well, there's no mistaking, what it's all about. That's for sure. That is absolutely for sure. Well, and watching the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Day parade is always great exposure to see bowling represented with all these other iconic, figures and companies. Is just it's in good company there. And I'm sure that's just an amazing opportunity to, once again, get bowling in front of thousands and thousands of people worldwide.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, millions of people. I mean, I think the thing that that has been, an amazing partnership that I tip my hat to the leadership here at the campus who've green lighted that partnership.
Yes.
We have extended it through 23. So we're going to be, a part of the parade through 2023. So you'll be seeing those, we call them balloonicals, and those are part balloon, part vehicle, and it's the ball and the pins and then the bowling shoes. So those are going to be a part of the parade through 2023. And it's just a wonderful opportunity to kind of kick off the holiday season where families and friends come back together, and they when they reunite, they're able to be reminded on Thanksgiving morning that Go Bowling is a part of that iconic celebration each year. And it's just a wonderful way to remind people to go bowling and visit our bowling centers throughout the country and reconnect and reunite and just have a great time with their friends and their family. So we're very excited that we're going to be part of that parade.
And Thanksgiving afternoon, after everybody's filled up and are so full they can't hardly move, when I was in the center, that was a great day. Everybody was wanting to come
Absolutely.
out with family and have some good wholesome fun and work off a little of that turkey and pumpkin pie that they just had. So
Me
um,
included.
yes, me too. So well, as we spoke a little bit earlier when the pandemic hit, and we really saw a lot of centers kind of kick it into high gear and start marketing. You guys have a number of programs that are available. You mentioned the uh, partnerships that y'all have, and specifically, you've got the Boston Beer Company, you've got leagues, you've got short format leagues, you've got the 8 for 8, the 10 for 10. But can you tell us just a little bit about, like, with the Boston Beer League that you have going on now? It's not just a package that you can purchase to start promoting this league and get the league underway. That really includes a lot of other stuff along with that, for the proprietor to utilize as well. Am I correct?
Yeah, the partnership, we have a belief that you don't sell, you teach.
Mm-hmm.
And in teaching, you're able to heighten the proprietor's ability to drive profits in their centers. If they're able to serve their customers, uh, they're just better. They're better proprietors. And so the suite of services that the Boston Beer Partnership brings us are available. You can connect through our website, stemarketing.com, but they have digital classrooms that you can do videos that help your food service providers, your bartenders, better understand proper pouring techniques and pairing of certain products with certain food items, and just more informed food and service employee is going to not only make the experience better, at the bowling center, because they're more informed and they're able to provide that level of service that you want your customers to have. And it also will drive ticket sales higher as consumers may choose to select another craft beer or another menu item that your waiter or wait staff person is inviting them. So we have a number of ways that the Boston Beer Partnership kind of translate into teaching as well. And then also we have the Boston Beer representatives throughout the country have done an amazing job of embracing the partnership with bowling and going and knocking on the doors of our proprietors and making themselves available with programming. We have a monthly newsletter that we send out. We have a series of promotions, and then this Boston Beer League is one that we came out with. The Truly Hard Seltzer brand is part of that family of brands. Sam Adams, of course, is a standard. A Dogfish Head IPA, lots of very popular brands are available, and we have bowling balls that are visually branded with those brands, and so those programs are available, and you can join the league and pair it with, make the league night a party night.
Yes.
And you're able to use that. So people are having, back to that word, experience, make it a fun experience while they're bowling, in a fun, casual league program using Boston Beer products as the ball that they're going to get. Have them Boston Beer brands served in buckets and other types of ways that you can drive, your food and beverage tickets higher with those types of events. So that partnership is a very good one. We're very pleased with that one. And then other programs we have available are Go Bowl America League program that we've been running. That was kind of our merging program as we came at COVID, where we wanted consumers to get back to bowling in America. And so that program is running and will run through the end of the year. It's a ball program as well. So the Go Bowling America program is still available. You can download that free digitally online through stemarketing.com. If you want a full comprehensive kit printed and ready to roll, you can order that as well, and we'll ship that and get it out to you the next day. So a lot of good programs are out there, and just pleased to make those available to our members through our website that they can utilize.
Yes. A couple of quick shout outs. We have Dustin Russell that says that Mr. Harbuck is the best in the business. So way to go, John. You've got a fan out there. Dustin, thank you for joining us this afternoon. And Stephanie Darby says, hey. So welcome. Thank y'all for tuning in to us today. John, it kind of all goes back to something that we talked a little bit about earlier today, and that was you have made it convenient, especially now. Staffing is a challenge. Time becomes a challenge because many times the same person that does marketing is also the person that's having to go pull up the slack at the front desk or work the front counter. And when you can deliver something that is ready to go, that requires very little manipulation in order to get it in place, those are the things that people, especially today, are looking for. I think, we can both agree that staffing, not just in the bowling industry, but just everywhere, is a challenge. And when you can do some of the prep work and some of the stuff that takes them out of that loop, it's very attractive, and their success is certainly easier for them to obtain. So where do you see bowling in the next 5 years?
Whoa, that's a good question. I was all up ready to lean in on the convenience part, but I will touch on that.
Absolutely, please do. And
No,
then
no,
we're going to take it to bowling in 5 years.
Yeah, the thing is we try to make things, with the staff challenges that we're seeing everywhere, not only in bowling.
Yes.
The more that we can do for the proprietor and provide them with a, just add water solution. It's all about problems, and we want to solve problems. Whether they're trying to engage on their social media channels and use that as a marketing tool, we have a social media content bank that you can log on and download photographs, short videos, a range of things. We just launched a national television advertising campaign that is Reunite with Your Team, in theme of getting consumers back out to reunite. Ads are running on net television all over the airways now, and that campaign runs through the end of this month. We launched that in anticipation of getting back into league season and knowing that consumers wanted to get back out. They want to reunite with their friends, their families. So the theme, Reunite with Your Team, is what our ad campaign's about, 30-second and 15-second spots. Those spots are running on national TV. However, you can download those spots on our social media content bank and use them on your social channels.
Nice.
Or if some of our proprietors have relationships with cable TV, local cable TV, very affordable way to purchase, efficiently purchase media on your own market. Those ads are formatted for you to use on social, or if you wanted to use those as well in your local market advertising purposes. So that campaigns and those assets are all available. Again, back to making it as easy as we can for our proprietors and members. Pivoting to your question about 5 years. I mean, this surge, as we see just in general, the good news and the hope on the horizon here, I think is that we've come through this COVID, and we didn't know, none of us knew when we were talking earlier in some of your telecast about what was going to be coming in the future. But we're extremely pleased to hear our proprietors, our members, our friends out there saying business hasn't been better. They're comparing their numbers to 2019 numbers, and they're beating and exceeding those 2019 numbers. And 2019 was a pretty good year for a lot of our members. And so that's the encouraging thing, is people are reconnecting. And, in tough times, people kind of fall back. I like to call it comfort food or a comfort experience. And bowling is the comforting local, stay close to home, hunker down and have a great time. And I think that as you look forward and people look at bowling and they're reconnecting with bowling, I think that bodes well for our sport in the future. And we look forward and want to continue bringing forward programs like our Macy's partnership, our NASCAR programs, our National Bowling Day celebration that we're able to work with our good friends at Fox News on Fox and Friends. And during a 4-hour show, we're able to profile bowling all throughout that morning show and just really highlight some of our great professionals or great stories that come out of bowling, and really just show consumers at large and reconnect with bowling and just what bowling is about. And that's what we see. That's what I see as an encouraging, light in the future of our sport. And we're going to be there, beating that drum for bowling, as we go forward in 22 and beyond.
Well, John, it's really interesting because a lot of people that I've spoken to have stated that there's a lot of brand new faces, a lot of people that they don't, you know who your regular customers are, them by face for sure, and most by name, but there's a lot of new people that are coming through the doors of bowling centers. So I do believe that Strike 10 is doing a fantastic job of exposing bowling to our general public. So hats off, guys.
Well, thank you. That's what we're here to do.
Well, good job, and you're doing it quite well. So I always like to add something a little bit personal into our interviews, kind of a little sneak peek of John Harbuck. But I want to ask you, what is your most memorable moment so far with Strike 10 Entertainment?
Yeah, Dottie, there are number ones. I consider this job a get to job, not a got to job.
Okay.
I get to do this.
Yes,
okay.
I get that.
And so it's not work if you're doing what you love, right?
So true.
But early on in our national partnership was working really hard, and Frank DeSocio was then doing what I do now, and doing an amazing job as executive director of the BPA. But we were at the second Pocono race, our second year, and we were blessed to have one of the most popular drivers on the planet win our race, our Go Bowling 400 at Pocono, and that happened to be Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Oh, the fan favorite.
So absolutely. And so I was able to, was pushed up front and said, here, we always want to push, our members and our proprietors up, and they participate in that. But that particular day, I was blessed to be able to present the trophy along with Tom Martino and Frank and some of the folks that were on the stage with us there, and got to hand the trophy to Dale Jr., which was a kind of a neat memory for me. And and the great thing about it was that show built that particular race, having Dale won, put us on every news show across the country, and that Go Bowling message and that Go Bowling brand reached the billions of impressions on that particular race. And that's what it's about, is getting that Go Bowling brand out there, reminding consumers to go bowling. And that was a neat kind of an intersection of a personal memory and a great memory for the sport, because it kind of came together. So that would be one of many.
Oh, that's a great story, and one I certainly envy you for. That's an awesome opportunity. Well, John, I want to thank you for joining us today. Viewers, I want to make sure that you tune in, or at least know to tune in next Tuesday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. We are going to have our favorite chef back, the executive chef for Cisco, corporate executive chef Neil, is going to be on the show. And we're going to talk a little bit about how you can cook up success during uncertain times. So he's a great guest. I can't wait to have him, and definitely worth your time to tune in and find out what you might be able to do with shortage of staff and shortage of products and all the little challenges that we find ourselves facing these days. So John, before we leave, do you have any closing remarks for our viewers?
Well, no, thank you for having me, Dottie. It was great to see you again. I would just say, for those of you out there, you know, heads up, keep it going. We're coming out of this thing. It's going to be good. And if you have any questions about anything that I can help you with, you can always contact me. My email address, the easy one to remember, is john@gobowling.com. So anytime I can help anyway, please don't hesitate to call on me.
That's awesome. And John, we have a number of viewers that watch this after it's live. So if anybody has any questions, is it okay if they leave a comment in the chat or the comment section?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, viewers, thank you so much for spending a little bit of your afternoon with John and I. It's been our pleasure. And thanks so much for being a part of Beyond the Frame. We look forward to next week. Have a good week, everyone.